Hello, Instagram. Hi, Facebook again. Hi. So my phone has got a little bit of phone of power, and my laptop is plugged in. So the Instagram page won't last too long, but my Facebook will. And when I left up, we were talking about before we get to that one. In case you didn't watch, again, my name is Pauline Coney. Hi, and probably you wonder that many times I hop on here and I give a lot of speeches. Sometimes I come and goof around, dance around, and then just leave. And you're wondering what is this person all about and what is this person doing. Hi, Jade Smith, Denny. Hi. So, my name is Pauline Coney again, and I help people transform their lives. And during this quarantine time, I have been indoors or under quarantine for more than a month now personally. When the pandemic just went or just came out and all the death news started rising, I'm in the USA, in New Jersey, the hotspot area. I didn't wait to see the problem. I knew what I should do before the government said it. I put my child out of school, picked her home, and we started doing everything within doors because one is I want you not to be a statistic, and I don't want myself to be one. And today's topic is not just talking about who am I. This was just like a start since I started this conversation 30 minutes ago, and then my laptop went flat and my phone went flat. So hi Instagram, hi Facebook. I know I'm on both channels right now. My goal today is to allow you to take a deep look at what you're allowing to go in your mind. How you are you guarding your mind? Are you taking care of your mind? And for people who are very ambitious, for people who want to build, for people who want to grow, it is not possible, I repeat, it is not possible to focus on the negatives and lead a positive life. Even though there is the pandemic and everything that's going around, and especially if you're stuck in one spot, this is the best time, one of the most important times to really be careful with what you take in your mind. My goal every time I hop onto these lives is to trigger something that's positive, something that's inspiring, encouraging, so that you don't live a life of fear, you don't live a life of paranoia, you don't live a life of just wondering, am I going next? Is my family going to survive? And how do you do this? The first thing is one, you have to focus on surviving, not dying, surviving. Because, like I said, you can't focus on the negative and expect to produce a positive life. Your mind should be wired to look at people who are surviving, things you want to do in life, people you want to connect with, people who've achieved a lifestyle or a life that you want. That is where your focus should go right now. Most celebrities, most CEOs, most CFOs are at home right now, and they're on LinkedIn, they're on Instagram, they're Facebook. Everybody's on their phones. This is the time you choose to take your attention to things that help you become better, and things that can tap you into things that along the way could actually breed better things. What am I saying? I see LL Cool J has been going live every day. Gary V has been going. If you don't know the names, feel free to write them down. LL Cool J, Gary V. We're talking about Ashley Graham, the model. We're talking about Naomi Campbell. Will Smith usually goes live for short minutes of time. Um, Different people, the Ivanka Trumps, the Michelle Obamas, people are online because they're indoors. Now, this time, if you are a person who's ambitious, wants to grow, wants to do more, you can start reading how many people are dying, which is beyond your control. The only control you have is staying at home and doing your part. And how can you stay sane? Focus on things that feed your mind. So if you're a person who wants to grow, wants to connect, uh, happen to these lives of people who have achieved or who lead a life that maybe you aspire to, or maybe they have a personality or the way they live their life, family life, career. If you like it, you aspire to it, tune into their channels, have a one-on-one conversation, listen to them. If you want to grow a skill set, want to learn something, YouTube is free. Go Google search what you want to learn. Start learning that skill set. So in short, what you're doing is feeding your mind, and at the end of all this that's going around, you're going to come out a stronger, more positive person, a more empowered person. I'll give another example. Um, when it comes to bad news and what you take into your mind, it doesn't matter if it comes from your brother, sister, parent, husband, wife, whoever, child. If it's negative, the implication is negative, and you have to live with those consequences. If it's positive and it feeds you, even if it comes from your worst enemy, it taps in your mind, it makes you want to do more, it makes you more creative. So you really, really have to think, where am I taking my attention to? Is this making me fearful? Or is this getting me more excited to do more, learn more? Is this making me more anxious and paranoid to a point that I'm in a point where my kids or my family around me, I've become a liability, I've become like a burden, I'm the one who's worried? Or am I the pillar in the family? Am I this strong person that has positive vibes all along? You really have to be careful with what you listen to. I'm in the hotspots right now. And on Saturday, 2 days ago, today is Monday, Saturday, in New Jersey, we had 700 and I think 19 deaths. And on Sunday, the next day, we had 900 and something deaths. Now, this is a difference of 200. We have a choice to stay indoors, and the best we can do is abide by those to save our lives and lives of those who are loved. But why can't we try to not be the statistic? And like I was saying earlier, in the olden days when God asked Noah to build an ark, to put two of every animal and his family there, waiting to see the flood was too late. If someone waited to say, oh no, until I see it, that's when I'll do something about it, same with the COVID, it will be too late. Take precautions before you even see it. Please take precautions. Be the ones that will leave. Be the ones that are pillars. Be the ones that bring organization to what happens. Don't be the ones that bring chaos to your families and loved ones. Be people who are very careful in what they do. Like, allow yourself to grow, tap into things that excite you. You know, if you're tired of sitting, don't worry about what people think about you. You can come online, talk about what you do, your work, what you're looking to grow. You never know who you can connect with. On LinkedIn, people are there. Facebook, Instagram, tap into live feeds of information that feed you. If you're trying to develop your leadership skills, find a good leadership book. If you have the time and you've always wanted to write a book, it doesn't have to be a big book. It could be a 25-page book or more. You could write a book, self-publish on Kindle, and start making an income of this. So if you have this time, there are so many things you can do with your time. What are you doing to make sure your life changes the time you're coming out of this in a positive manner? What are you doing? Are you being the one who's bringing negative news? Are you being the one who's bringing positive news? Focus your mind on what grows. There are many people who are dying. There are many people who are living. Focus on the many that are living, not the few that are dying, because you need to be the pillar of the family. You need to be the strong one. You need to be the person who, when your child sees you, when your wife sees you, they see someone who's got it under control, not someone who's overwhelmed by news. Because fear, paranoia builds nothing. It builds nothing. Work on your mindset. Do whatever you need to do to stay sane. You know, in the mind, move. If you feel lazy, you know, you stand up within 2 minutes, you sit down, and you have been indoors or you haven't been moving that much, even if you're not going to the gym. The internet, instead of it using you, use the internet. How do you use the internet? Go online. Tell the people who are there, even if there's no one, what you're going to do. You can say, okay, I am going to be going on for 15 minutes. I'll just be moving. When people are watching, if you say 15 minutes, you won't just sit because you know people are watching. You continue moving. Hi, how are you?
Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
Good. Nice to see you. So hold the internet accountable. Make it your friend. Don't let it just finish your money and your bundles. Use it. Don't let it use you. LinkedIn, CEOs, people who've created the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world, okay, not Mark, because he's handling Facebook, so his business is booming right now, so not him. The Joe Rogans, different people who've done different things. Tap into those people. Start messaging people. It people won't reply to you on your first message. They might reply on their hundreds. Reach as many people as possible, and focus on things that help you. If there's a skill set you want to learn, please go on YouTube. Go on YouTube and learn that skill set. You can learn anything you want to know. Anything. The only thing is you can write in the comment section below if there's a topic you're looking at and maybe there's so much information you don't know what's real, what's valid. You can share that with me and I'll help you go through that and see what's legit, what's not. Let me know. We can talk. And I'm not charging or doing anything. I have this time. It would be nice to be able to help another person. So if there's something you want to get better at, be it you want to start a business, you want to start a podcast would be great. I'll be starting a podcast soon. Since I've been at home, I told myself, why not start a podcast? So I just bought my equipment. I'm waiting for it to come. I'm excited about that. And you'll be able to tune into me. I'll have live videos. I will have live videos and audio. Okay, so right now I have David is joining. Once he joins, I'll let him ask a question or contribute. Hi, David. Hi.
Hi, sorry, I received the call, so
Not a problem. Not a problem. I was also finishing a sentence because I'm live also on Facebook, so I wanted to get the word out before I stop. But nice to see you. How are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
Good. Amazing.
How's your self-isolation going? How's the doctor? How's the family?
Oh, amazing. I'm loving it. You know one.
I'm loving the isolation.
Yes. You know one thing I loved about it.
Yeah.
You know, before I explain it, in life, it's not what happens to you, it's how you interpret it. That's the difference between winning and also going down. So when you look at the systems, people are rushing to school, people are writing assignments, people are rushing to work. We're in this machine, we're always running up and down, taking kids to school and stuff. And sometimes we don't get that time to ask, okay, if I do this for 10 years, where is it leading me? Do I like the end goal? Am I on a path that I want? For example, are you a shop owner? Are you working for someone? You reevaluate. The people you look up to is what you're doing every day and every night amounting to that. So it's been a good time to just sit back and assess, I've been busy. For example, you go like I went, I'm always busy, but I'm always, stuck with bills. I'm always stretched out. So if I'm always that busy and I'm always stretched out, there's something wrong I'm doing because I'm working hard, not working smart. A good time to just sit back and say, okay, listen, let me reevaluate everything I'm always busy doing because I'm always busy. What can I change? Who do I look to become? Am I doing what makes me become this person in the end? So to me, that's why I said I loved it. It's been a telling time, you know? And again, it's been a great time because I got to meet you as well. I think I saw you on my first live last week, right?
You did.
Yeah, through another person's channel. So this has been an amazing time to connect. When you look at Italy, you look at USA, you look at Australia, people are not moving as much as they always do. So you have time and access to reach anybody in the world. Anybody. But it's where you take your mind to. So are you just focusing on who's dying? Or are you focusing on the rest of the world which is alive? And how are you going to connect with people, prospect, where you're going to throw your fishing rods and your attention. So to me, this has been amazing in that light, in that light. What about you?
Okay. Um, Well, I'm working, so I'm actually from work right now. And it's I do agree with you. We shouldn't wait until like the end, until the signs are actually there for us to be proactive in this whole corona prevention. Uh, it's important to take the necessary precautions while we still can.
I
Uh,
have a question.
it's good.
So, I'm sorry to cut you short. Since you said you're working, are you practicing social distance at work? How is it happening?
Uh, I think we are. There are buses that usually come to pick us up in the morning, but it's changed. There are two-seater buses, but only one person is allowed to sit sit in each two-seater spot. So it's like you're not sharing a seat with anyone.
Okay, that's good. That's good for status. Are you wearing any protective stuff? Are you wearing gloves, face masks?
Yeah. So what's happening is they're offering face masks, hand sanitizers, everything that's required upon request. Sorry, I'm just trying to cook something. So
That's all right. It's all right.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. So I was saying, yeah, they're giving us the hand sanitizers, the masks, and with those disposable gloves. Because I'm an accountant, so I'm always holding papers, and they're coming from different places. So we're using those gloves and sanitizing as much as we can.
How long have you been an accountant for?
Yeah, uh, 4 years, I think.
How do you like your work?
It's work. What can I do? What can I say? It so happened that I just turned out to be good in numbers, so I just went with the flow. It wasn't, yeah.
Okay.
But it's alright. It's not something I wouldn't mind doing for a really long time.
Nice. That's
Uh,
good.
yeah. If I were to continue this whole accountancy stuff, I would also want to end up being a consultant, have people come through and ask for financial advice and the like. Yeah, so it's just one of those things. Hello, how are you doing, Tony?
Hi, Tony.
Oh, you remember Tony, right?
Oh yeah, your friend. Yeah, I do. Hi.
Mm, I'm sure he's also just getting home.
Okay. One thing I like that. Let me first acknowledge greatness when I see it, or a good thing when I see it. I like that you're not just one of these guys who are just at home not doing anything, and people who are just there looking for. There are people who in their mindset and their thinking believe in handouts and are just waiting for someone to help them with something. I like that you're actually working. I like that you have a career. I like that you're open minded enough to tap into a conversation that's talking about something more logical than just um, most conversations that go out there which don't make sense, where people are pretending to be what they're not. And it's nice just to have this one-on-one talk where person to person we can just talk and just connect on this level as well. So it's really nice.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm grateful for that. And good
Yeah,
job.
social media is making the world smaller. So
I know,
as
right?
yeah, as we go on, we will end up having holograms of ourselves in houses, and
But I do
yeah,
have a
we'll get
question.
into that.
I do have a
Yeah.
question. Since you said you're an accountant, you at one point would look for people who you could who you would look for people who would consult with you, like private businesses and stuff like that. How do you see yourself doing that? Are you looking to create a business on the side that people could just come to? And when I say business, I don't know how accountancy works. Do you have to have like a physical building, or could you just be as a person and then people come to you through online a
Um,
website, or how does that work? Does it have to be virtual, or does it have to be in person just for meetups?
it works both ways. I can have a building like a lawyer does. You know, accountants are basically financial lawyers. You know what I mean, right?
I
It's
do.
something that you can do physically and you can do online. So consultancy really doesn't matter. Like someone can write you a message on Instagram and you would simply reply if you've got the right information and you don't need to be there physically
Oh,
and whatnot.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So so the level of consultancy I'm just talking about is a situation where you advise people on how they can follow the accountancy rules. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And tell them, hey, this shouldn't be recorded where it is. If you want to be clear over something, this is where you put it, and the like. Yeah. So basically, there's a lot of there's not that much awareness, financial awareness, like in Zambia. If you've noticed, the country as a whole is actually in debt, and it trickles down to individuals as well. Like everyone you see around is Congolese somewhere. So I hope to uh, make them better people and make better financial decisions by
You
doing the whole consultancy thing.
you know why I asked that question, the first one?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get people who are not in Zambia and are looking to consult, and a person like you who I see, from what I grasp, but I don't know everything because I don't have a full picture. You seem very capable and
Oh,
stuff like that. I beg your pardon?
no, I'm just playing.
What?
I'm just looking. You said you don't have a full picture, so I wanted to
Oh,
say, should I start?
yeah. So I asked myself, if someone who's not in Zambia and doesn't know you, how do they find you? Would you be missing out on those opportunities? That's why I asked about a website, virtual or office,
Yeah.
because office doesn't really matter. You can do the work from home, but just being able to be found.
Yeah, of course. We're getting conversant with this whole Instagram arrangement. Corona has its positives.
Yeah,
It's making people meet,
that's true.
and we're getting to know individuals that you really were hanging around with, but you didn't have the time to talk to them physically and whatnot. Yeah, but now we're able to see who's really your friend and who's not through this whole.
When it comes to that, that's a very controversial, not controversial, that's a very delicate line I've come to learn. When you say
Okay.
who's your friend, because here is how I take it, right? Like I have many acquaintances. I have many acquaintances, friends, or whatever. But then there comes a time in life when what you're doing is not in line with what they do. So they'll say, oh, that one is not my friend. They're not there for me. But it depends what situation. So, like, for example, there are people who are looking for, it's just an example, people who look for someone to bail them out of um, a bill at the bar. When you're saving, maybe you're trying to start a small business, or maybe you're trying to buy a course or something. And sometimes you tell yourself, I can't keep on doing this. So it has nothing to do with friendship. It's just an example. But it's, how is that person thinking? Does it align with the friendship that's been had for so many years? I'm one of those people who, back in the days, I felt very betrayed by a friend. And for many
Okay.
years, I had a grudge. For many years. Actually, more than 10 years, I had a grudge. And now that I'm in the USA, now that especially I'm working on myself, and I start looking back and thinking, what, wait a minute. They just grew. That's it. The person got married before me, and maybe their uh, priorities shifted, but maybe they didn't know how to communicate that with me. But I had a grudge. So sometimes it's not who's your real friend, it's about on what is their priority right now, what are they focused on right now. And like for you, one of the things I would love to know so much right now is, how are you careful with what comes in your mind? Are you focused on the people who are dying, the dying rates, the bad things that are happening, or are you focused on the people who are alive and how you're going to grow? What news is grabbing your attention? Have you thought about this one?
That's quite interesting. Like, well, I'm not really into negative energy. I don't know if you understand what I mean. I always try to see the bright side of anything, and even when it comes to selection of friends, um, it's always in relation to what do they do, how do they do it, how can I learn, how can I get better. You always have to have someone around that can hold you accountable for what you're doing and maybe teach you one or two things, like, you know what I mean. So I've got a few friends. Some are doctors, some are, you know what I mean. But
That's
we
good.
do share knowledge.
That's good.
Yeah. So it's basically that. I don't know if I've answered your question though.
Yes, you have partially. But I was asking with the COVID-19, the way everybody is freaking out. Like the other day, I saw this video about a man in Italy who committed suicide. He jumped off a cliff. And it got me thinking, yeah, it got me thinking, it doesn't matter where the news comes from, whether it's a brother, a sister, a father, a mother. How does that make me grow? Is that bringing fear in my head? Is that bringing paranoia? Am I becoming scared, or am I becoming more positive? Am I becoming more excited? So at the end, I started thinking, oh my God, with the COVID-19, there's so much news that's going around and we don't realize it. We really don't. But at the same time, we might find ourselves more paranoid, scared, because we let all these news come in and we haven't really put a wall and boundary to say, okay, listen, many people are dying, but many people are living. For example, I'm in a hotspot right now in New Jersey. On Saturday, we had 719 deaths. New Jersey alone. That was on Saturday. This Saturday. Yesterday, Sunday, we had 900 and something. So 200 deaths within a night. You know what I mean, right? That's how bad it is. And this time I could focus on everybody who's like, dying and everything. But what about the rest who are living? What am I doing to stay alive? What am I doing to stay positive so that if my child sees me, mommy is happy, mommy is vibrant, mommy is the pillar in the house. So I ask myself this, and what I've done is it's not who the news comes from because people might not mean harm, but what does the news do to me? So my question to you is, if you actually thought about the news we're seeing on Facebook, what we're reacting to, what we're tapping to, or the bad news, and how we stopping that?
Oh, okay. Simple. For starters, I'm not on Facebook.
Oh,
I
there we go.
haven't been there since 2012.
Okay.
I realized at a young age that it's really time consuming because while you're working or concentrating on something, you'll be focusing on ads, you'll be focusing on all those funny things.
Tell me.
So I sort of decided just to leave that to everyone that was in it at the time, and I really have no regrets because every platform can be used to achieve what you need to achieve.
That's true.
I can put my CV on Instagram. Anyone interested will end up finding it. I can put it on LinkedIn. I can put it on Twitter, and whatever other network there is. But the best thing you can do, and what I've done personally, like on my Twitter account, is I've filtered out the word COVID-19, and I've just muted that word. Like I don't want to see any news related to COVID unless I either see it in the news when I come back from work or when I decide to read it.
I haven't done that. You're one step ahead of me. Actually, 10 steps ahead of me when it comes to that. That's a nice one. You see, I've learned something.
You just simply mute the words that you don't want to see on your timeline. It's that simple. And that will really help you in not reacting to certain information. So, these funny things like the clips that people are sending around, they're only reaching people like me unexpectedly. Like, you'd be like, how did you manage to send this through? Maybe he'll use a different platform that doesn't have the filter option. So it's one of those things. You can just filter what you really want to listen to, and yeah, just like you were talking about the mind, you can decide what you feed it, and what you throw away. So,
and by the way, for anyone listening and everyone, we're not saying we're robots and sometimes we don't get caught up. We do. I do as well, and I'm sure he does at times. But we're just saying to like have a little bit, to have some guts, so not everything bombards you. For those people who are studying, your phone keeps on flashing with people who are dying and stuff, like it messes up your head. So we're not saying we're all perfect and everything doesn't reach us and we have these pillars, stopping and milking the news. The only thing is we've set precautions to get what we need done so that we keep our minds positive and do what we can do.
Yeah, basically, yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to say bye. Thank you so much for hopping up online. My phone only has 3%, so thank you so much for coming on, and I will be coming back on later, either working out or dancing, one of the two. I haven't decided. I'll go with the flow.
I'll probably be watching Zambians everywhere. I want to see what other Zambians are up to. So I think someone is online, obviously. I'll watch that.
Yeah, I tried watching that for a bit, but I think long term I felt because maybe we're on different links of thinking. Because someone either has to be very entertaining like Cardi B, that entertaining, crazy, or very intellectual. But if you're neither on those, I easily get bored. So I need extremes, I think.
Oh yeah, extremes.
Yes, and I'm the middle person. So sometimes you get excited, you see things that are entertaining or they're very educative, but when it's just one day I'll host. It will be fun.
Anyways, we'll listen. We'll be there to watch, man.
All right.
Yes, thank you for the chat. We'll continue this later on.
All right. Stay great. Enjoy your dinner and have a good night.
All right, you too.
Bye, Instagram.
Bye.
Okay, so I just let Instagram go, and now I am remaining with Facebook. What are you doing to keep your mind focused? How are you shutting out the negative news? Are you really being bombarded with everything that's happening out there? Remember, some of you are leaders, especially this channel that I'm left with, not the Instagram I had. We have leaders, we have parents, and you are the pillars in your world. So be in a place where you don't just let everything come in. It's not possible to focus on negative news and build a positive life. It's not possible for you to focus on everyone who's dying and at the same time be confident in your work, be confident in the presence of your children and your family and your relationships. This is the time to take guard of what you put in your mind. If you're a person who's into beauty, look on how you can contribute, how you can improve in that skill set. If you have free time, you can write a book. You can self-publish on Kindle, 25 pages minimum on a book, or 20. You can do it. Use this time to really evaluate where you've been spending your time. And when things come and they don't make sense, when there's too much negativity news, block it out. But please stay safe. Don't wait to see the storm. Do not wait to see things go bad. Like, take those precautions. If you see people are not, they don't have courtesy and they don't stand 6 feet apart, move away. You've got nothing to lose. Move away. Make space between you and other people. Do whatever you can to stay alive and stay well. Focus on things that feed your mind. It could be funny, it could be entertaining, it could be educative, you could be writing a book. Do what you have to do. My name again is Pauline Coney. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will be coming back on Facebook. I'm not sure if I'm going to be working out or training, but since I've been indoors for more than a month, I don't go out anyhow the way it used to be. If I go out, it's for a need, water, maybe some medication, but I don't just go out anyhow. And maybe it's going to be once in 2 weeks or once in 3 weeks. So my way of staying positive and keeping moving, sometimes I dance. That's how I feed my mind. That makes me happy. It reminds me of a time when I was a little girl, where fear, shame wasn't a part of my world. I just have fun and go with it, even if it doesn't make sense. Sometimes I do simple workouts, trying to keep my body healthy. So if there was a situation where my body had to fight against COVID, I will be as strong as I could be right now. So it's not just the mind, and moving the body is very important. Being indoors, you can lose your mind, especially when you're not out there working and running up and down, you can lose your mind. So this is a time to look inwards, work on yourself. Only focus on news that feeds you. People who've made it in life, people who CEOs, managers, they have free time right now and they're on the internet. They're on LinkedIn, they're on Twitter, they're on Facebook, they're in Instagram, and some go live. Join them. Collaborate with other people. You don't know what partnerships you can come out with us. Stay alive, stay safe, but at the same time be open to growing. Be open to the opportunities that are there. Don't restrain yourself. You are home. Don't let the internet use you. Use the internet to go further in life. Use the internet to do much more. Don't be just cooked up about doing other people's biddings and what needs to be done. Look inward. What do you need to achieve? Where are you going? Have you created the life you want? What can you change to change the course of your life to make it more to what you want? Remember, in the cosmos of time, what you do and what I do doesn't matter. So don't live a life of shame. Don't live a life of guilt. You have the right to demand time to yourself. You have the right to really think of, is what I'm doing day in and day out creating the life I've always wanted? Is it, if I deviated from my path, if I gone off? Set goals. This is the time you can set goals, and set goals you can never reach in your lifetime. Goals are not meant to all be fulfilled. They are meant to be an anchor to show you the way to go. They're meant to be a path to direct you on where you should put your attention, just in case you go off course. Because if you don't have goals, it will be easy to tap into other things that other people are doing, and you will not build a life that you want, because you're always tapped into what's happening around you and not what you want within you. Thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Stay safe. Stay home. If you do need to go out, follow the guidelines. Keep 6 feet apart. Wear a mask. Wear sunglasses, because you don't want saliva and other things to go in your eyes. Wear sunglasses, or the welding goggles. Stay safe. Keep your children safe. Keep them entertained at home. Have fun. Life is meant to be lived, and it's not a life if you're always in fear. And how can you turn off that fear? Minimize the negative news. Minimize the news that makes you fearful, and focus on what feeds you. Focus on what makes you grow. Focus on what will make you go faster and better. Focus on what can make you a better dad, a better mom, a better leader. You can do it. I believe in you. Bye bye.